So welcome back to O'Neill Family Farms. I am your host, Rob O'Neill, if you don't already know. Now we're heading out to a field that we got to do some welding on, we're not going to weld on a field. I'm terrible at this. No, but remember in the last video, we had a field where we're working on a pivot. Well, that pivot has some spots where there's some cracks in the pipe that are leaking. And so what we're doing was we're taking our VT out, vertical till, and we are going to do under the pivot a little bit, so in case if a spark falls, hopefully it doesn't catch the whole field on fire. We did get some moisture the other day in the form of a little bit of snow, but it's still pretty dry out here. Coming off of winter, everything's brown. Plus we're doing some testing, making sure some stuff's ready to go. We thought it wouldn't hurt to warm up the tractor a little bit before we change the oil anyway. Also, we're checking out a stock stomper that we put on. Stock roller, I should say, since it's got rollers. Just making sure everything's gonna work somewhat. So yeah, here we go. So before I get over there to the pivot and waiting on my brother to show up exactly how he wants that done, I came over here earlier late in the fall, and ripped some of these ends where we drove our trucks around and stuff, so I thought I'd smooth it out with this while we're over here, right? Might as well, we're in the business. Now my goal is not to hit the pivot. I got big goals. I'll place settings.
I wonder if we should turn the pivot off, do you think?
Just in case. Galvanized is a little tougher to weld on than just regular straight steel. A little hot. So we knew that one was bad. Now we got to turn on the water here eventually to see where the rest of the leaks are on this thing.
Let's go find her.
So we got a few cracks and we forgot a ladder. So I'm going to take this back to the farm and go find a ladder and bring it back for him. But before I go, put on some stock rollers for this year. So I'm going to take them through some of these dishes to see how it works. They tend to stick a little further forward. You know, just don't want to make sure they ground out too bad. See if we have to go through one of these. It seemed to do fine through that. Well, I want to listen to the radio and not get a YouTube strike against me, so I'm going to put the camera down on the way home here. Get my jams on here. What do you think? Is it a little breezy? Oh, it is, yeah. Freaking havoc on your hair, ain't it? So you got secret student today?
Yeah.
That's cool. You gonna plug it in? You gotta plug it in, bud.
Pull it.
Well, you gotta it's just unplugged.
I'm gonna go over there to the rock so I can try this.
Well, you gotta really hammer down on it, huh? Tell them, I guess we'll see what morning brings.
I see what morning brings.
There we go. Well, we'll catch you tomorrow. I'll finish this one out. Welcome back. So I'm gonna hook up to my excuse me. Gonna hook up here to my little four-wheeler trailer so we can haul tires around again. I need to find my handyman jack. Fertilizer guy calling. Yellow. Guys need any tires? Still got our 12 row. Sorry if you're interested, it's sold. Gotta ask Tom a question here. So I'm heading out. I think there's this place where we have a tire to fix. Man, I can't remember from 10 minutes ago. Did I tell you if I was heading out to fix a tire on that pivot? Well, that's what I'm doing. So I'm heading out to a place where I think we got a spare tire to fix that one. It's a tall, skinny tire, and hopefully it's there. If not, we got one back at another shed that we rent to store our irrigation parts. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's that one. I'm not a smart man, but I know what a flat tire is. Because this is the second video of you watching me change a flat tire. Think I could think of something else to do. Apparently not. So you remember the last video though? Where I was praising the Lord Heavenly Father about not having these type of designs? Yeah, it comes back around to get you. It's the circle of life. Okay, so hopefully the wind ain't too loud here, but these have got the back nuts. Like I've talked about, for those of you that haven't seen this before. What I'm doing, I got the first one out. I forgot to start filming it. But I'm just taking this. Usually I've done it before if they get really bad. You can get one of those wobbler ends for your impact that allow you to kind of get in there from the back to unthread it. But I've been using my ratchet, sticking it back in there and going from the front, and that's been getting them. So I'll impact from the front, hold it on the back, and see how that works. I got the first one, so. So it's a change of plan here. In my mind, this was dished right, but in reality, it's dished wrong. And the dish is kind of how the dish of the tire goes in. Well, this one's going out, and it just won't line up right. So that's important on a lot of these pivot tires, because on these valleys they have that longer output shaft, and so you have to have them correct. And yeah, it'd probably be fine if the tire tread was backwards, but this one is on a tough one, and I like to give it the best chance we can. So I want the tread going the right direction. It should be going that way, but if I put it on, it'll have to go this way, which just doesn't give you as much traction. If you kind of tell this guy right here, this one's a bi-directional tire where they just go straight across. The advantages of those is doesn't matter which way you put them on, they'll both work. Now once again, this is subjective, but I like directionals because they just seem to clean out better, especially when they go through like silt or something. They just work better, especially if you can point them the right direction that you're always gonna go. Now sometimes you're on a wiper pivot, you want to go both directions, and they'll set them facing each other. But on this one, I would almost prefer it to have directional going forward, because that's the way this pivot runs. It works the best that way. So that's always something kind of you're considering when you're putting on pivot tires. So I'm going to leave that here in case if I don't find one going the right way. Take this old guy back, maybe get him replaced by the local shop, and then see if we got either one in storage that will work right, or just have them put it on this one. We'll see. So I'm gonna have to donate my handyman for a while. So now I gotta mentally remember the way that's going. I need it dished. And sometimes rims look different, so it makes it's hard to remember from one year to the next. Hey baby. Sorry for the darkness, but this only got lights in the back. It's gonna be what I need. So I will put this down and load it up.
If you just want to wave at me when it's going up.
So this is where we ran the pivot yesterday. So this is muddy. So hopefully we don't catch any fires. That's the goal. Windmill. So I'm down at the far end, obviously, and gonna count nozzles to see how many we might need to replace now. So that'll probably do it for today. We still got some more things to wrap up on that pivot. Probably got a few more nozzles that replugged themselves, but it's winding down. Tom's gonna go check some air pressure on another pivot that was close by since he's got his air compressor down there. So something that's a bit of a current event going on right now. As many of you well know, the horrible tragedy going on in Ukraine and what that's put a strain on energy coming from Russia, the hikes in oil prices and what that's caused to energy prices, diesel, gasoline, mainly the big ones. I just want to say that, kind of put a little plug out here. I know this will not solve all of our problems, but it could help take a load off, and that's ethanol. And that's something we need to, I think, really relook at, is a viable energy source. If we can move that E15 to year-round blends for people, and what that is E15 is a 15% blend that is derived from corn put into your gasoline to make that 15% blend, and it ranges from 10% to up to 85% on some blends. And if you have an E85 compatible car, which will have a yellow gas cap, you are able to run an 85% blend of ethanol. And yeah, I know that's not going to reduce our dependence on oil, but it's something that'll help ease it off and help make it more available. Your mileage may vary, pun intended, but I think it's something we should look at as a viable option for a renewable source of energy, because we're getting pretty good at growing this corn thing around here. We'll wrap this thing up for now, because you guys are getting tired of me jibber jabbering, and the more I talk, the more foolish I sound. So, well guys, till the next one, we will catch you later. Bye.